So if you don't know, weddings are an essential piece to the puzzle when it's time to talk about building a successful creator-based business. I've done my fair share of weddings over the last 5 years. I went from shooting them on my own and not knowing what the hell I was doing, to being a second and third shooter on a wedding team, to now running a successful and profitable wedding videography business. But even with that, I thought my wedding videos were missing something. And on top of that, my love for creating these wedding films was starting to fade away. And just when I thought my wedding business was about to flatline, I shot one wedding that changed everything for me and completely changed how I shoot weddings going forward.
You may now kiss your bride.
I's married now.
All right, y'all, so let's sit back, relax, and in this video, I'm gonna give you guys my complete wedding video breakdown from how I took my videos to trash to pure gold.
I love gold.
I'm Rashad, I'm 38, and I'm building a multi-million-dollar content agency. All right, y'all, let's get into the gear. For a wedding, gear is important, but it's not everything. Let me actually give you guys a list of the gear that I actually bring with me to a wedding. So I have 2 cameras, a Canon EOS R and an R6, a gimbal, 2 Godox lights with light stands, 2 Pavo tube lights, a shotgun mic, a lavalier, a tripod, a drone, and lenses. The lenses that I use are a 24-105, a 50, a 16-35, and a 70-300. As I said before, the gear doesn't matter as much as you would think. You don't need the most expensive camera or the best lenses or anything like that. As long as you are confident in your abilities of using this gear and you know how to put out a quality image from this gear that you have, then that's the gear that you should be using to shoot weddings. It's more so about how you use it than what it is that you have, to be quite honest with you.
3, 2.
Let's talk about your timeline for a second. For weddings, I believe in being there either 6 hours or 8 hours. To me, anything other than that is complete overkill. So I'll normally get to a wedding venue 2 hours before the ceremony starts, and that allows me to get all the prep shots, everybody getting dressed, the shots of the dress, the shots of the rings, the shots of the venue that's empty, all the decorations, decor, all that good stuff. And for a 6-hour wedding, if everything is on time, keyword everything being on time, then by the time that 6 hour ends, they'll just finish cutting the cake, throwing the garter, bouquet, all that good stuff, get a couple shots of them dancing, and then I'm out. So with that, with a 6 hour and especially 8 hours, you will have more than enough to put together a worthwhile and a worthy highlight video wedding story visual. So with that being said, let's get into this next one. This one is important. Key deliverables. Deliverables. You have to have deliverables when you're shooting a wedding. If not, then how does your clients know what they're going to get? So for deliverables, everything we do is package based. So for our deliverables, we offer a couples video, which is a 1-minute video that each, either the bride and groom, the bride and bride, the groom and groom, each one of them get a 1-minute social media video that's completely from their perspective of their wedding day. The next is our wedding story or highlight film. And that is usually a 4 to 10 minute video that just kind of showcases or encompasses the fullness of their day from the time that we start to the time that we end. We cover each and everything, and we include that, we put that together in a very cinematic way. Next, we do a full ceremony video. So that's from the time the first person walks out of the aisle to
and not so good times. For richer or poor.
Time they kiss and leave out, we'll capture all that in between. No stopping, just all the way through. And we do the same with the reception. The reception is more so just the formalities of the reception. So the first dance, the mother-son dance, the father-daughter dance, the cake cutting, bouquet toss, all that fun stuff. We'll include all of that in the reception video. But those are the deliverables that we actually sell our clients on. And those are things that have actually been working for us for the past 6 or 7 years.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
All right, you're not gonna wanna miss this one. Let's get into the things that you need in your contract. First things first, eye popper freaks all the honeys.
First things first, eye popper freaks all the honey.
But first things first, never do a wedding without a contract. If you do, you are definitely going to screw yourself.
Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart.
There's been many a times when a bride says that, hey, you know, I wanted this, and I was like, hey, well, your contract says this, then you just got to go with it. So always have a contract. These are a couple of things that you should want to make sure that you include in every contract that you have. Exactly what you'll be giving your clients. That's deliverables, length of deliverables, time frames, all that good stuff. We talked about deliverables before, so you definitely want to make sure you spell it out exactly right here. Also, as we talked before, put in your contract, how long will you be working on that day? So like I said, I do 6 hours. On certain occasions, I do 8 hours. But I put it in there, and I put it there what time it starts. Some couples will try to say, hey, we don't need you for the middle part. But no. Don't ever go for that. Say, my time frame starts at whatever time this is, and it goes throughout. Another thing that you want to make sure that you're including there is how much you're getting paid and when should they pay you by. I personally don't believe in getting paid the day of the wedding. I had one of my earlier weddings, probably like my third or fourth wedding, somebody was actually paying me at the wedding, and they were running around scrambling up money, and it just didn't feel right. So now I make sure that all of my clients pay me at least a week before the wedding day. Another thing you want to make sure is included there is no raws. Like, we don't give out raw footage. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No raw footage. How many edits do they get? I normally give couples 2 edits of the videos. And I also add in mind that me and my team eat what the wedding guests eat. I realize that this is slightly controversial, but to me, we're working long days. We're with the clients. We're actually having to be creative. So you're not going to give us a bag lunch of a turkey sandwich and some chips. Like, we want to eat the same thing. If y'all eating chicken, we want chicken. If y'all eating steak, we want steak too. So just give us that. And lastly, the major thing is no refunds. No refunds. So make sure you include these things in your contract to make sure that you're covered at all times.
2. Come on. Good deal. All right.
How to market and promote your wedding. So I'm big into marketing. I promote a lot of things that I do. But with weddings, it took me a while to kind of get the formula together, but now that I got it, it works all the time. So if you're looking to get your first wedding, you might not like the answer to this, but you're going to have to shoot a free wedding. And you might have to shoot a couple of free weddings. When I first started, I shot at least 5 free weddings just to kind of get my reps, try to figure out what it is. And the reason I say free weddings is because you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a portfolio. So if you mess something up, they can't say that, hey, I paid you this amount of money and you didn't get my date right. No, you didn't pay me anything and I'm figuring this out. Keep in mind, you don't want to mess up, but if you do mess up, that at least kind of gives you a blanket to kind of cover you by. Like I said, my first couple of weddings was trash, and I kind of wish I can kind of go back in and redo those weddings. But those first 3 to 5 weddings got me my next set of weddings, which kind of helped me take off from there. So to get your first wedding, shoot a handful of free weddings. Side note, and this is a very important key, to find the people that you want to shoot your weddings. I would find people that are in your sphere of influence. Like, I chose people that I went to high school with, went to college with, and just general friends. And that allowed me to kind of get the ball rolling. Plus, I knew I was going to have a good time and work with people that I wanted to work with. So I would say, if you're looking to get a wedding, go on Facebook, see when people get engaged, and then slide in their DMs and say, hey, I want to shoot your wedding for free. They're almost always going to say yes. All right, so let's talk about to continue to get weddings. So this is something that I actually picked up over the last year or so that really helped out a lot. And so what it is that I do now is, when I shoot a wedding, anytime there's a moment that really stands out to me, like I had a groom sing his bride down the aisle, I always do a a fraternity or sorority video where they just kind of not shimmy because not everybody, when they're strolling. If they're strolling, then I make a video out of that. But whatever is the moment that really stands out to you, I actually make that a very raw video. I might color grade it, but I put that out on Instagram and then tag them in it, make them collaborators if you can. And I continue to put out those type of videos, and now people want to have that same effect or want to have that same visual for their wedding. So I say all that to say is, if you're looking to kind of get more weddings, then with the weddings that you have, share those raw moments from those weddings on social media, especially like the day or so after the wedding, and then other people will be excited and other people want to work with you as well. So those are my 2 ways of how to get your first client as well as to get multiple clients. If this video is helping you, please let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know which one of these options is really standing out to you that you definitely want to utilize in your business. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, about this particular topic.
Yeah. Grab a little behind
Yeah, brother. Hey, why we gotta keep talking to us?
Okay, this is something that most people are not going to talk about. Money. How much are you charging? Are you charging the right amount? Are you doing crackhead prices? Are you? Are you a crackhead? At my cheapest, I was charging $1,200 a wedding. Actually, I'm not even gonna hold you. At my cheapest, I was charging $900 a wedding. But over the years, my prices actually increased up to $3,500. And to be honest, I still feel like I'm not where I need to be at completely, right? So if you're somebody who's just starting out with weddings, it really depends on your deliverables, but I will always say that you should be somewhere around the $1,500 mark, and then you can just kind of go up from there. Trust me, I thought that being low was something that kind of helped me out. And I feel like that's something that a lot of creators and videographers think when they first starting out, but especially with weddings, because people don't want you to fuck up their wedding. Like, don't mess that up. So if your price is too low, then you are screaming that, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with these weddings. So charge more. This is the one thing you definitely gonna need: a second shooter. Trust me, it's a suicide mission. And I am so serious right now. So my first couple of weddings, I shot it by myself, and that was probably the worst thing that I've ever did. Weddings after that, I picked second shooters who just weren't experienced or good. And so I was always missing stuff, or things weren't in focus, or I was feeling like I was working by myself even when I had somebody. But now my man Cap has been helping me for like the last 3 or 4 years, and we've been rocking it. So let me give you a couple of tips on looking for a second shooter. First, you need somebody that's personable. Weddings are very personal. You're in somebody's personal space on the biggest day of their life.
It's my man's day, so y'all celebrate like it's y'all last. Tonight, it gotta look good for Kim.
So you need somebody who is able to talk to people, have a good time, and just kind of interact. But you also need somebody that can play the background. You don't need somebody that's super in your face like this with a camera at all times. You need somebody who can just kind of chill in the background and still capture everything. And you just need somebody who's actually good with shooting on their own. Like I said before, I used to go out with people who were very inexperienced. And so with that, I would have shots that were very inexperienced, or I would have people who didn't know how to set up a shot. So once again, like I said before, my guy Cap, and lately my guy Long has been helping me out, and they both know how to shoot. And so with that, I know if I say, hey, we just want to get a walking shot of everybody, or show them an inspiration shot, they can go and execute it at a very high level. So that always works out for me. So those are my tips on finding a second shooter that's going to be great for you and your business.
5, 4, 3, 2. Clap them up. Show smiles, big dog. There you go. There you go. Yay, yay. Yay, yay.
Music. So starting out, this used to be the part of this whole process that gave me the biggest headache. Before, I used to try to find music that I felt like fit the couple. And then after doing a lot of weddings, I was just using the same songs over and over and over. Like I used that Daniel Caesar and her song to death for 1 year, actually 2 years. But lately, what I've been doing is actually just a month before the wedding day, I'll just send an email to the clients or the couples. So a month before the wedding day, what I'll do is just send a couple of emails and just saying, hey, if you can send over, about 5 or 6 songs that you'll like for your wedding visuals, that will help me out a lot. And so with those songs, I actually use that to actually create their videos. So the main things I'm looking for is a song specifically for, you know, the different, you know, people in the couple, as well as a more romantic song for the highlight video and a more turned up song for the reception. That's it. That's pretty much all I need. If I have those songs, then I can kind of make the magic happen from there. But it's always good to have the couple sing your songs, because if not, they're not going to like the song that you picked. Then you have to re-edit everything, and then that is a headache, and you're going to want to kill yourself. So allow the couples to sing your music. All right, so this is my last one. Now, this is the thing that took my weddings from trash to gold, and that is sound. Sound. You need sound. So probably up until last year, when I created wedding films and just created teasers and videos, I only used music as the background. But I recently saw this one video, and this one thing stood out to me as far as what my videos have been lacking.
One of the most challenging things when I adopted the reality TV approach to my wedding films was figuring out why they lack that deep connection that keeps viewers glued to the screen. I quickly realized the power of dialogue. Without it, wedding films feel incomplete, almost soulless. And when they do feature it, the dialogue often feels predictable and cliche. Bride and the groom, you're not just recording words, you're capturing emotions. Those shaky breaths before the vows, the moment where the bride's standing behind the door waiting to walk down the aisle, all the interactions in passing, those spontaneous bursts of laughter. They all become part of your film's unscripted soundtrack.
Yes, my videos have been missing audio, sound, all that good things. And when I say sound, I'm more so talking about just sound bites of the actual day.
I'm just excited.
That's the way to be, man.
Baby, been waiting, shoot, a year for this day.
One of the greatest days of your life.
I can only imagine.
Like, of course, I get the vows, I get the, you know, everything during the ceremony, but what about the talking points before, the talking points of the mother of the bride, father of the groom, talking, people showing how nervous they are, people crying, people saying congratulations, people saying what they love about your love story, just all these different moments that you are going to want to look back on and say, hey, I remember that. I remember how nervous I was. Because for me, it's all about creating a visual that when people look back on it next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, they can remember exactly where they at, and they can remember the emotions of their friends during that moment.
All right, Shamir, I love you so much, and I've been wanting this day ever since the first start day on June 9th, 2017.
And the only way you can do that is if you actually include those particular sound bites instead of just having music playing throughout. I did this for a wedding 2 years ago, and it was probably my most talked about wedding to date. And I started to do it with a couple of weddings toward the end of last year, and it's helped out a lot just to kind of tell the story in full and totality of what the couple is actually going through. So if you want to make your videos top tier out the gate, make sure you have sound. I normally do this with a shotgun mic on my camera at all times, so I can just kind of easily pull somebody to the side, or to capture, ask questions, or just to capture things in the raw moment. So those are all of my suggestions, my 9 suggestions on how you can actually make your weddings top tier out the gate. So as you know, this was a lot of talking. That might have took me out for the rest of the day. I might be a mute for the rest of the week. So that's all I got for you guys. And hopefully watching this video will scale up your wedding video game exponentially very quick. I think exponentially and very quick is probably the same thing, but you know what I mean. All right, y'all, so thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you took something away from this. And hopefully you'll watch the next video where I teach you something else that I have no idea what it is that I'm talking about. So once again, I'm Rashad, I'm 38, and I'm building a multi-million-dollar content agency. Follow along on this journey of mine. Love the smell of roses. You wanna smell? Okay.